Boom, bada bing. We're live. All right. Welcome to the Put Work In podcast. Today we have special guest Shane Phelps. He is our sheriff, newly reelected. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Have you had a busy day today?
Yes, we have already. We stay busy out here.
Yeah. I just imagine you don't get a lot of sleep.
Hey, look, we can relate there.
I try to, but it's 24/7 job. I love it. I can't think of anything else I'd rather be doing.
Well, that's a good place to be in.
Yes.
I can think of a lot of things I'd rather be doing.
Yeah.
Peyton works at in Sardis.
We're at
United Solutions.
Okay.
I
On
make
the night
buckets.
shift.
I could name about 3 things that I would much rather make than buckets, but
Just 3?
Hey, like 5-gallon buckets?
yeah, 5 gallon, 10 quart, 2.5, same thing, but they're separated.
You're keeping us in business. We use like 30 a day.
Heck yeah! Which brand? Lowe's, not brand. Where you get them from?
Whatever we get the oil, it comes with it in.
Oh wait, yeah, we don't make those.
So
You so
It's not about me. This is about Shane.
yeah, before we get too into it, that voice you hear is Carson. It's
He's
just a voice.
disappeared on us, hasn't he?
Yeah.
oh, you can't see me?
No.
Not right now.
What?
He disappeared on us.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
There we are. All right,
didn't-
so we'll get into it though, but how? This is a big question. How did you get to where you are today? Like,
The Lord.
amen.
Man, heaven,
I
yeah,
give all
brother.
credit to him.
Heaven, yeah.
Where I'm at now. He, I started my career out here at the Sheriff's Department under David Bryan and James Rudd back late 90s. And I worked here for several years. And I left and went to Centovia Police Department for about 8 months. And then I got accepted to the Mississippi Highway Patrol Academy. And I graduated from there in December of 03. And stayed there. Total hard time was 15 years, but I had 2 years built up, so it gave me 17 total. 10 years of my career, into my career, I got promoted to Master Sergeant, Assistant Troop Commander. And I believe now, looking back, is God was preparing me for now. In 18, late 17, 18, I had people coming to me, wanted me to run for sheriff. I always wanted to be sheriff. My plan was to wait until I got my time with the Highway Patrol so I could retire. But God had different plans. And so 17, 18, a lot of people coming to me wanting us to run, want me to run. And my wife and I talked about it, and we decided that we can't make the decision on our own. And we started praying about it. And the things that the Lord showed me at that time, there was no doubt in my mind that he wanted me to run. So when I finally made my mind up, I went to my wife and I said, hey, I know this is what the Lord wants me to do. And she said, Shane, go back in the bedroom one more time and get on your hands and knees and just make sure this is what he wants you to do, because it's a big decision.
Yeah.
My boys graduating high school that year, and so I was going to be out of a job for a whole year. But anyway, he told me to run. The Lord told me to run. He never told me I was going to win. He told me to run. And I made the biggest leap of faith I've ever made in my life. And I ran, had a blast, met a lot of good people in this county going door to door. And the Lord blessed us. And I think we won almost 800 votes in 19. And so the answer to your question is the reason why I'm here is the Lord, 100%. 100%.
Heaven, yeah,
Awesome.
brother.
I think a lot of people don't realize what goes into like actually running.
No.
You said you were out without a job for a year, so
Oh, yeah.
that definitely takes a lot of faith.
Oh, it does. It does. And you got people that help you along the way, and you couldn't do it without them. You couldn't do it. You could not run for any office without the people. You got to have the people behind you, backing you, and we would not be here where we're at. Today, if it wasn't for the people of this county that they got behind us and helped us through this process in 19 and this year.
Awesome. Were there any big differences between running the first time and the second time?
Yes, big difference. The first time I went door to door. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I hit 98% of the houses in Panola County doors, if not more. The only reason why I didn't hit the rest of the doors, I ran out of time. I just ran out of time. This year, I could not do that, being that you're a sheriff of a county. Your phone is ringing 24/7. You got to be here. You got to be there. I got to go to this meeting. Got to go to that meeting. And so I just could not go door to door. And I wanted to. I mean, I really wanted to go door to door because I don't want anybody to think that I'm taking this for granted. That, I'm here and no, that I wanted to go out and meet more people, but I just couldn't due to the job, what I have to do every day here. But, and so I look back and I think, all right, from day one of 2020 to now, I'm out seeing people every day. I'm out talking to people every day. So I said to myself, I'm hoping that what I've done these last, 3.5 years talking to people, seeing people, I'm hoping that will kind of take place in me going door to door.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you would have not been elected the first time, then you'd be out of a job.
The Lord, this is the way I look at it. This is my faith. The Lord will have a door open for me. My plan was with the Highway Patrol. If I hadn't won the first time, I'd have gone back to the Highway Patrol. They have it's a year there that you can be out and come back without having to go through the whole process, unless that's done changed. So my plan was, now I'd have had to start all back over and, back to be a road trooper and that kind of thing. Well, that'd have been okay. But that was my plan if I hadn't have won in 19. So thank God that didn't happen.
So speaking of Highway Patrol, there's a Highway Patrolman that comes to our gym, Troy Moses.
I know him real well.
I've talked to him a couple times, especially back like a couple years ago when I was considering law enforcement. And he said something about the Highway Patrol, like the academy and the boot camp for it. How tough is that, would you say? I've heard it takes a pretty bad son of a gun to get through that.
It is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. I went through basic in Tupelo, 10 weeks in basic, when the Sheriff Ryan and Chief Deputy Rudd sent me. And then I went through another 18 weeks of with the Highway Patrol Academy. If you don't have it here, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. I'll put it to you this way. I've never been in the military, and my hat's off to the ones who have served this country. But we had 4 Marines in my class, and 2 graduated. The other 2 said, I ain't putting up with this. It's, I'm not going to do it. And they quit. It is one of the hardest academies. I can't speak for it now, but back then it was one of the hardest academies. I think it was ranked number 2 in the nation back then, as far as the hardest. So it was hard, man. They start you out, they break you down, then they build you back up. They break you down again. They build you back up. And it's just a process they go through. And, during the academy, I guess like any other boot camp, like I said, I can't speak for the military because they, I don't know how it is there, but they call you out. Even when you're not doing anything wrong, they still call you out. And to see how the other guys are going to treat you when that happens. And yeah, it's if you don't have it here, there were guys that was halfway in shape, but they had it mentally that they were going to make it no matter what, and they made it. And there were guys that were in better shape than I was. I was running, I think, 5 to 6 miles 6 days a week before I went. There were guys in better shape than I was that did not make it because mentally they were not prepared. And I was going to make it no matter what because I didn't want my boys to grow up later on and realize that I quit. And so I'm telling you that a lot of times you're sitting there and you're crying, wanting to go home, you know, but you pray about it and man, and you just next morning you get up and you drive on. But it was some of the best training that I have ever received going through the Mississippi Highway Patrol Academy. It is a great organization.
Yeah, when I was talking to Troy, he brought up the fact that you know, it was supposedly one of, if not the hardest, like police academy to go through to the country, and it seemed like he was kind of presenting it as a challenge to me. I'm like, dude, that sounds like, man, I want to knock that out, but you know,
it's a great career. I'm that type of person that law enforcement, I believe, if you listen to God, if you're a man of God and you listen to God, He's going to tell you what He wants you to do in life. You may not want to do it, but He's going to call and tell you what to do in life. And I believe law enforcement is a calling. I do. And like I said, even the basic academy, if you're not mentally prepared and you don't put God first, because look, not only is the physical training hard, if you're married and got kids, and I mean you're away from your family, because in some academies you can call home at night. With us, you couldn't. When you left Sunday morning, you kissed your wife and your baby bye. And my class was the first class that left on a Thursday. So we went Sunday through Thursday. So on Thursday afternoon, when you get about 4:30, 5 o'clock, maybe 5:30 from Jackson, you maybe got home at 7:30. So you didn't see your family till then. So not only the physical training is also mentally not being able to talk to your wife. Are they okay? That's something else that weighs heavy on your mind down there. So yeah, it's pretty brutal.
I can't wait for this to be over. Me and Dylan both going to be on fire for me joining law enforcement, and then it's just going to go back on.
Been trying to get him to join for
come on, man, come on.
Every time we have one on, I'm just like, oh, I'm back, dude. I can't wait, and now I'm back. Like right now, I'm like, I'll just keep working where I'm at.
Well, I'm telling you, in law enforcement is it's so rewarding to be able to because let me tell you something. It's not about writing a ticket or locking somebody up. That's not what law enforcement is. And sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to do your job. You got to lock the bad guy up. But to be able to help the people here in this county, the families, it is more rewarding than anything else. Is to be able to help this family whose son or daughter is, has a drug problem, addiction problem, and be able to get them help. That to me, that's what is rewarding to me. And so yeah, it's very, very good. I love my job. I love it.
If either of you two have something to say before I ask my question.
Okay. I
Let
have
me
something
type
here.
mine down so I don't forget.
So you kind of hit on it. You said that you think law enforcement is a calling. So how did you end up in law enforcement in the first place? Like, what drew you into that?
Man, I can remember as a kid wanting to be how people love to be a fireman. As a kid, I wanted to be the police. I've always wanted to be the police growing up. And then I met my wife, Melissa, and her daddy. I worked at the car lot for Meek Auto Sales in high school, and I started David Bryan and James Rudd. They were very good friends, my father-in-law. They would come up there, and just to see them in that uniform, I'm like, wow, I want to be that one day. I want to wear that uniform one day. It's just something that I've always one time I thought about being a fireman. but that was real quick. Like, boop, nope, I'm not going to do it. You know, but I've always wanted to be the police, and it's just, I guess that's my answer, man. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be the police, and I could actually sit here and say that I did what I wanted to do when I was since I was a kid.
This may be a sign, guys.
Come on, Peyton.
You just got to take a leap of faith.
He just got to do it. I think he's
This
scared.
happens every time. I'm just like, dude.
We had a game warden on, and he was all about the game warden.
Bro, it was a whole job interview that whole time.
He, on your side, it was.
Yeah.
Wait, do you think? So I'll go back to something else first. You know, you grew up with a very positive view of the police.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people don't grow up with that. And how do you kind of overcome people's negative mindset towards police?
We have to get out there and work with the community. You have to do that. You have to get out there. It all starts at home. And a lot of these people, a lot of these kids are not being raised by mom and daddy. You may have just mama, or you may have just daddy. You may have just grandparents. And what a lot of people see on the news is what they believe. And a lot of people think that the police is bad. And, you know, sometimes I'm in stores and I can hear the mama, if you don't behave, you're going to jail, you know, and I say, whoa, don't do that. Don't do that, because them kids are going to be scared of the police. So I think it starts young, and that's something that my administration, that we do. We try to get in the schools and let the kids know that the police are good. You know, we went down to basically intermediate a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago, and we had the SWAT vehicle out there and the K9s, and I put the bike suit on, and the K9 attacked me several times, and I cannot tell you the amount of kids that came up to me and said, "You got bit by the dog. You got bit by the dog." And I said, "Yeah, I sure did." You know, so that's going to stay with them kids forever. So you got to get out in the community and reach out to them and let them know that we're here for you. But usually the ones that talk bad about you, they're going to be the first ones to call you, need your help. Right. You know, but yes, that's what you got to do. You got to get out and reach out to the people in the community and talk to them and get that trust built up with them.
Can I come by and get bit by that dog?
Come on. We'll hook you up.
Just sign here.
I've been wanting to so bad.
You can feel it now. You can feel it. When he hits your arm, you can feel it.
Peyton's weird.
Oh, you missed it earlier. Oh, man. Should I show him?
What?
I was dumb earlier. I bit the corner off the side of my Pop-Tart. I thought we were recording already, but we weren't.
In his defense, he's been up for like ever. So
yeah.
Oh, I know how it is. We just we went to Dallas and watched the Cowboys play Sunday when we left and drove straight back in for work Monday, and we got in at 2:30 and woke up at 6. So I can tell you, I was tired Monday, so I know how you feel.
Oh yeah. Well,
can't use that as defense for that.
Yeah,
that was for the content.
For the content,
we didn't even record it.
So just to credit you, Shane, like, you know, you've seen me grow up, and you know, just seeing you around, like in Pope eating or anything, you always had a smile on your face, and you always greeted me, and like that to me, that put a good impression, and that's just something kind of to back up what you just said. Like it all starts at the home and in those little interactions. If you can't just walk around like, oh, I'm mean and bad and stuff and scare people.
You can't walk around and look at me, I'm the sheriff, you know, or I'm the police. You know, to me, I said this in one of my rallies. We had, this job comes with a title, and that title was sheriff. And I respect that title. But to me, doing the job of the sheriff for the people is more important to me than that title. If that makes sense. Does that make sense to y'all?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I am the sheriff, and like I said, I respect the heck out of that title. But doing the job for the people is more important to me than having that title, because that's who I work for. That's who my people work for, are the people of this county. And that's something that you can never forget. How you got here, who brought you here, and number one is Lord Jesus Christ, and then number two, the people of the county.
I think that another way to kind of strengthen that positive attitude towards law enforcement is also understanding the vast scope of work that you guys do too. Because, like you said, you're not just writing tickets, you're not just locking up the bad guy. Like when storms come through and like roads get blocked, you guys are out there cutting trees, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just you guys do a lot for the community. And I think a lot of people don't realize that.
That's we had when we know a storm's coming, we got chainsaws in our truck, and we're ready to go. When that last storm hit Pope, and y'all know where I live at down there in Pope, that hill, I've never seen that much water come off a hill. And me and my wife was out there. She was holding the flashlight, and I was cutting, in pouring down rain, cutting the tree so we could clear clear that road. And so, yeah, like you said, man, it's not just going out answering the call. It's picking up that chainsaw. It's putting that chain on that tree, and that right there is also police work. Yeah, so you're right. You're exactly right.
Well, it's like the Bible. Leadership in the Bible is not about putting yourself above everybody else. It's about leading, serving, and helping people. And what you've said today is a perfect example of a leader. So,
well, I appreciate it. I couldn't do this by myself. Let me tell you, I got a heck of administration. Reginald Lantern, he's my chief deputy. High Patrol, he's ex-trooper as well. Clint Robertson is my major. And Chuck Henson, captain. I can keep going on and on. Jamie Sullivan, who's Brian Sullivan. Dylan, y'all may know him. He used to be a trooper as well. She's my administrative assistant. It takes everybody in this building working together because there's no way one person can do this job. There's not. And you got to have good Christian people surrounding you to make it. And I'm telling you, I got a good crew. I'm very pleased with my crew. We all work together, and I just can't be more happier with them.
Awesome. Do you think people are born? There's like this thing. So I'll step back a second. There's like, I don't know if it's just the media is pushing it more now, but there's like a lot of active shootings.
Mm-hmm.
And as a cop, you're the first one there. You're going to put yourself on the line, potentially to save people. Is there something that people are born with that inclines them to put themselves out there like that, to lay their life down for other people? Or is that something you could train? Or
yeah, I think you're born with it. I don't think the training that we go through can make you go put yourself, out there for that, for the active shooter. I honestly, like I said a while ago, you're born. I think God calls you to this job, and I think with that you are born with that as well. And that's something that we train for. We try to at least 2 or 3 times a year. We try to prepare for an active shooter, and I pray to God that we never have that here. But if we do, we have to be prepared. I'm gonna tell you right now. My boy goes to Pope. This is last year at Pope, and even my boy was not there. And say it's next year he goes to school or wherever the call make. It don't have to be a school. It could be at a convenience store. It could be anywhere. But if that call comes out and I'm close by, I'm going. I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting for more backup to get there. I mean, you have to go in, and that's what you signed up for. If you have an active shooter, and you're the first one on scene, you don't wait for backup. You go on in, and you got to take care of business. And but yeah, I think I think you're born with it, man. I think it's something that God puts in you when you know, and so yeah.
I agree. It's definitely something that, I don't know, Carson, you might could attest to this, but I feel like it's something when you become a parent too, that, you know, you kind of turn it like, you're kind of like a mama bear, but you're, you know, your dad bear. But,
Yeah.
you know, you're going to go do what you have to do to protect your kids.
No doubt. No doubt. No matter what it is.
With that, I'll go ahead and include one of my questions. So I'm not sure how much you're able to share, but what's like the most dangerous situation you've come across or you've been in your law enforcement career?
Woo. Well, I mean, I could go to being on the SWAT team with MHP, going in houses, doing that. You know, going in with the bad guy. And that's, you know, when you're on the SWAT team, you gotta, you know, you rely on that person in front of you and the back of you. And that's what you train for, when we train is, you know what the person in front of you and the person behind you is going to do. You know, man, there's so many. I just don't know I mean, as far as the most dangerous I've ever had to, you put me on the spot, man. I'm sitting here trying to think. Yeah, I guess it's on the SWAT team with MHP, and we had a call down south in the middle of the state, and guy done shot the police, and we got called, and we had to make entry to the house, and the house done caught on fire, and didn't know where the guy was, and we went in, and flames were, I mean, you know how you see on TV, that's how it was. I mean, you're like, oh my gosh, I ain't no fireman, you know, I had a gun, and going in on that, because you know where the guy was, smoke all in the room. We had our gas mask on, and that was probably one of the most dangerous situations that off the top of my head that I've been in, and so yeah, that was that's in the top 5 for sure. Yeah.
How do you prepare yourself, you know, mentally or any other aspect for things like that, or even today, you know, with the sheriff's department, like what is the process you go through when you're responding to a call?
I'm praying.
Yeah.
You know, when God wants you, He's gonna take you, and that's my belief. I mean, right now, God says, "Shane, your time's done." I'm talking to y'all right now. I thought I would have a massive heart attack, and that's how I believe. When you're going to a call like that, even domestic now, when I'm out here working, if I go answer domestic with my guys out here on the street, I'm praying, you know, and Lord, just watch over us, protect us, you know, just keep us safe, you know, during this mission or this call. But also, if you're going to a call, you're thinking in your mind, you're trying to play out every scenario that could actually happen. And so when you get there, you're prepared. Now, what you thought about going there might not even happen. Something else totally may happen. But you're trying to play out what's going on, what could happen, may happen. Because, you know, I've been on hundreds of domestics, but you just never know what could play out. But I'm praying. I'm praying the whole time.
Yeah, they say the domestic violence calls are the most dangerous.
Yes, they are. They are. I mean, you go and, you know, you get there and the wife done beat the husband. The husband done beat the wife, and you know that's her husband. That's her baby. She loves him. But he done beat the mess out of her. And then you go to put handcuffs on him, and she turns on you. You know, it's happened so many times, and now and thank God. I hope and pray to God it never happens here. You see on the news that these officers are going to a disturbance call, not a domestic, just a disturbance call, or loud music call, and getting ambushed when they pull up there.
Wow.
But yeah, Dylan, I mean, one of the dangerous calls is domestic because it can turn on you so quick, because you're fixing to lock up their loved one. And you have to, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand that. The law says you shall, not maybe. You have to. And I tell everybody, if we get called to one of my family members' house and they laid hands on each other, I mean, you have to. I mean, you can, and that's why they changed the law, because it wasn't people being arrested for it, and that the officer would leave, and then it'd be a murder would happen. Wow. Something else bad would happen. So that's why they had to change that law to it shall be arrested. And so you have to. I mean, it could be your best friend, and if he laid his hands on his wife, you have to, or mama, or loved one, or family member, you have to make that arrest. There ain't no ifs, and buts about it.
Do you? I'm just curious. Do y'all have the cameras?
Yes.
The body cams?
Yes. We have body cams, and I'm big on that.
Okay. Do you think this is just me? I just thought of this, but do you think like the body cams increased arrests? Maybe people not letting people off as much because they have the body cam footage holding them accountable.
Probably so. I can probably say so on that.
Peyton, you have anything?
I was gonna come up with a hypothetical situation, right? So me and Dylan, I don't know if Carson does. I like to know the most about what I do to make sure I'm not breaking the law. So in the case of concealed carry, right? I want to get from the law enforcement point of view, right? So let's say I'm in Walmart, I'm on the chip aisle getting some Pringles or something. And over there on the
specific
fudge round aisle where Oliver Anthony's at, over there where he's at, a shooting breaks out. Anyway, so what I'm getting at, let's say, an active shooter in Walmart, and I'm concealed carrying, and I conceal carry for a reason. I'm not carrying it to, if a shooting breaks out, I'm not going to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there to help. Let's say I track down the shooter, and of course law enforcement's not there yet, and I shoot the shooter. The shooter got shot. When law enforcement arrives to the scene, should I have my handgun holstered or on the ground in front of me? I'll be like hands raised, arms behind my back, something. What is the correct thing to do after you use your gun in self-defense, or not? That's not self-defense, but use your gun in the case of an active shooter out in public.
After you take out that threat and he's taken out, he cannot hurt nobody else, and law enforcement's coming, you holster your weapon and you raise your hands, and you got to make sure that threat is taken out before you do anything. But after that, law enforcement coming in, because all they're knowing, they got an active shooter. That's all they know. They may have a clothing description, may not. Everything is hectic, and you come in and you raise your hands and you get on your knees and and say, hey, they're coming straight to you. I'm sure they'll come straight to you with your hands being raised up like that. And then after the scene's secure and everything kind of calms down, then they'll start their investigation process.
So, because I've watched a few videos, and some people will say, you want to make sure like you don't have your gun on you at all. You want to have it like out in front of you, unloaded or whatever. But I was wanting to make sure, like, does that matter, or as long as it's not in my hands when cops arrive?
My opinion, holster it, put your hands up. Because your hands up, these right here are the only things that can kill somebody. These right here. Okay? So if you holster your weapon, you raise your hand, that, in my opinion, that's good enough.
What's your opinion on the constitutional carry?
I think you have a right to carry a weapon. I do. I carry mine to church. Now, back in the day, I wouldn't. I took my gun belt off out of respect to go into a church. Now, I have my weapon on me. Now, you don't see it, but it's on me. If I run up to truck stop from the house, my weapon's on me. I believe you. Now, some people don't need to carry a gun. I'm just going to tell you. I mean, there's some out there that does not need to carry a gun, but that's their God-given. I mean, that's their right. The way the world is, and the way it's getting, and it's not going to get no better. It's not. I would not go anywhere without a firearm, and I think everybody should carry a firearm because you don't want to be like you said at Walmart, and you have an active shooter there, and he's killing innocent people, kids, grandmas, mom and daddy, and you have that opportunity that to stop that, for him to not kill nobody else. You got to take that target out. You got to take that threat out. You have no choice. So yeah, I mean, I'm for it. Now, like I said, there's some that probably don't need it to carry one, but I'm for it.
Awesome.
Heck yeah, man. We're going to vote him in next year, too.
So, what do you look for specifically in like a deputy? I know you're very faith-based. Is that something that kind of you like, okay, that's an attribute that, you really, obviously you really, I'm trying to think of a word. You like that in a person.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, if you don't have God in your life, in my opinion, this is Shane's opinion, then you're not going to do what you're supposed to do, the right thing, in my opinion. That's just Shane's opinion now. But we look for, because here at the sheriff's office, it's God first, then family, then the sheriff's office. And I want somebody who, number one, loves God, is a family person, or if they're single, they're still family oriented. But loves this county and loves serving the people. That's what we want in a deputy. That it's not about, look at me in the uniform, look how pretty I am, look at my big gun, my badge, that kind of thing. We want people that will come out here and look, we're all gonna make mistakes. I make mistakes every day. I do. But you got to learn from them and then drive on. But we want people that just love dealing with the public, because that's what you do for 12 hours. You're dealing with the public, whether it be a cat in a tree or, the wife done got beat up. So that's something that we look at in people. But yeah, I mean, I want them to be, God people, Christians.
You got anything, Carson?
I had some. I'm trying to remember. It slipped my mind. It's hard to keep up.
I will say I do. I give y'all pointers. I like the sheriff uniform more than the rest of them. Something about brown,
Really makes your eyes pop.
Yeah. It looks. I mean, that uniform looks good. That brown with the stripe down the side, it looks good.
I mean, if you're leaning back up against a piece of plywood, you blend in better than black and blue.
You'd be camo, wouldn't you? You hide. You'd be hiding.
That's
treated plywood, you might look better in a game boy uniform,
Oh, so what y'all talk about while I was gone?
Plywood.
What's your favorite plywood to carry in your?
Who's gonna carry the log or plywood?
What's the? Go ahead, Carson.
I just remembered, so I want to get it out there. Obviously, your job is Panola County, but being on vacation or traveling or being anywhere else, because you're in law enforcement, do you kind of hold yourself more accountable for, being in situations like Peyton was talking about?
I do. I mean, we just went to Dallas and we've not been anywhere since 18. And so we wanted to get away, especially after this year, for a couple of days. And everywhere I went, I had my firearm on me. I couldn't carry it to the stadium, of course. I had a pocket knife, and I had to go pay $20 to put it into a little locker.
Wow.
$20 for a knife, so of course I couldn't carry it in there. But everywhere I went in Dallas, I had my firearm on me, and because I never want to be in that situation I talked about earlier, that if something happens, and I could have prevented it more. Yeah. I probably could have saved more lives if I'd had my firearm on me. So yeah, I mean, I'm all like, you'll never see me at a restaurant with my back's facing the door. I'm always trying to face that door when I eat. And my family knows that. So when we go somewhere and eat, they automatically know where I'm sitting at. Just because that's just something that's, I guess, burned into us.
Situational
You'll see
awareness.
most law enforcement do that.
Yeah, I was going to take that and ride into that, but I knew Dylan had something else to say.
No, go ahead.
But, yeah, so something I think I've asked both law enforcement guys we've had on here. But do you think it's important for, most people, that kind of do it, not necessarily have to sit against her with facing the door, but to practice situational awareness, pretty much every day, everywhere they go? Because I feel like if I tell people the way I think while I'm out and about, they probably think I'm paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm in my daily life, I practice situational awareness, everywhere I go. Do you think that's something important enough for everybody to practice through their daily life?
No, I do. Yeah. The day and times that we're living in, yes, sir. I'm always looking around, man. I mean, everywhere we're walking, I see somebody approaching me. I mean, I'm watching their hands, watching how they, if I have a crowd approaching us walking down the street, it's just something that's been burned inside of me for, I've been doing this for over 25 years, and I just know how the world is. I know how people are, and people are mean, man. People are cruel, and they would rather shoot you than hit you. They just don't care no more. People has gotten away from God. It's the devil coming in these people's lives, and it's just, I'm telling you, we're in a bad situation right now in this world, and the only person that can help is Lord Jesus Christ, and that's it. And but yeah, what you do is exactly what everybody needs to do.
You'd be surprised how just oblivious people are.
Oh, it's scary. It's scary.
All right, Dylan, we got a few questions on the Facebook.
We do? Okay. Let's pull it up. Okay. All right. Robin Perkins. What if a parent isn't following a court order in a custody situation? I don't know if you want to answer that or not.
It's if a parent is not following an order given by a judge, is that basically what she's asking?
Yes.
Court order?
Yeah.
Okay. That she needs to go. That person needs to go to contact their lawyer and contact the court. When it comes to child custody and that kind of thing, it's it's a real thin line there. We have, in order to do anything when it comes to kids, mom and daddy type thing, we have to have a order signed by the judge to enforce that. That's something we it's a very thin line right there when it comes to that custody stuff with the kids. But I think what her question is, she needs to go. That person needs to go contact her lawyer and let her lawyer contact the judge, because that person that is violating that order could be liable for could be held in contempt.
Okay.
I hope I answered her question.
All right, we got another one. How can the public help you make a county humane society a possibility? Is there a meeting we could attend?
Very good question. This is something that we have been pushing, I guess, since my first year in. This county needs some type of dog shelter. And I'm not looking for some fancy, building and all that kind of stuff. We just need somewhere, because that's one of our biggest calls are animals, mostly dogs. And so I wish I had the authority, I guess you can say, to say, all right, we're going to build one right here, but I don't. That's left up to the board of supervisors. And we've been pushing this issue for a while now, and I got probably $8,000 to $10,000 that people say, hey, I would donate this money for kennels, and for the labor. I know we even went through Job Corps to already going to lay the concrete. All we had to do was pay for the material. So we need one. We need one bad. And like I said, we just need somewhere that when we have a vicious dog or we have stray animals that's been dropped off, we can carry them to the shelter. The Humane Society, I don't see how they're doing it. They are so overwhelmed. Them ladies that work for the Humane Society, I mean, they have dogs in their house that they pick up and just outside in their yard, and they're really working hard, trying to help this county in the dog situation that we have. So the answer to her question is, I mean, I can't make that decision. That's going to be left up to the board of supervisors.
All right, and then my dad said, "What's up, guys? He's in Kentucky trying to get a big one."
I tell him I hope he gets him a big one.
So she said, should they attend a board meeting?
Yes, in order to attend a board meeting, you have to be put on the minutes. And the agenda. You have to be put on the agenda. And that goes to the county administrator's office.
Okay. Hope that answers her question. And then we had Britton Crawford. He said, I have a question. Whose kids are going wild in the background? Definitely Peyton's.
What? What we say?
Your kids are going crazy.
Oh, yeah.
What time do you have to leave, Shane?
Who? Me?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You're good? Okay.
I'm good. Y'all good? I'm good.
I'm good. So I think I
real
asked
quick
all
before
my
you
questions.
get into it, I'm gonna hop out. I gotta get back to work.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Good seeing you, man.
Thank you for your time, man. We appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, Carson. I appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for joining us, Carson.
It's always a
Yes,
pleasure.
sir.
Gentlemen.
JC Fuego.
Yes, sir.
All right, so now that Carson's gone, we could actually talk about something. No, I'm just kidding. So, what role does fitness play? Does it play any part in your life anymore? That I know you're super busy.
Yes, it does, man. Which, Hosanna is where I go to church at. They got the 180 Center.
That's right.
And I'm a member there. And because, man, it's just right there at home. I mean, 2 minutes, boom, I'm there. I've slacked the last 2 weeks, but I was back in it heavy, working out 4 days a week. My wife, she walks all the time, and so I've been telling her and telling myself, I got to start walking. And I've not reached that. I've not reached that goal yet for that. But yes, I do try to stay in shape. I believe that fitness is a big part of law enforcement.
You just did all that running to get elected, so
yeah, exactly.
I mean, that
exactly.
counts.
But I believe that fitness comes a big part of law enforcement. You got to stay in, and I think in somewhat decent shape, because you just never know what situation that you're going to go into when you do have to go hands on with somebody.
Right.
And you need to kind of be in shape.
I just want to point out, if I got to chase a dude down for 26 miles, I got it.
We did a marathon.
You'll lose me probably mile 1, okay?
Just get in the truck.
I dare a dude.
I'm behind you in the truck. I'm behind you in the truck.
I dare a guy to run for me for a long distance.
It'll be a very slow chase, but it'll keep going forever. So there was this video of you dancing at your celebration or your party you had after you were reelected.
Yes.
And I was gonna show it, but I couldn't find it. It was hilarious.
Yes. I'll tell you, I love to dance. I love to dance. My daddy loves to dance, and man, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm Shane, and I'm gonna be Shane. I'm not changing for nobody. I'm not changing for no position. I'm going to be the same Shane I was 25 years ago to now. And, somebody, and believe it or not, Dylan, there have been people that have, I can't believe he's doing that. I can't believe he's dancing. Well, what's wrong with dancing? What is wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? It's I just scratch my head sometimes and like, man, is that all you can complain about? Seriously? I do. I love to dance. But I saw the video on Facebook. Yeah, it was, we had a good time.
They probably voted for a different candidate and got mad, and that's the only thing they could think of bad to say.
Bingo.
This guy's dancing, man.
They'd be mad if you took the wrong, step.
Oh yeah. Look. I tell people that we could go. One of my sayings is that we could go to a burning bus full of kids and get every kid off that bus and not a scratch on them, but the person's going to complain because their backpacks were left on the bus. You just some people you can't make happy, man.
That's true. We got more questions. Okay. Not a question, but congratulations, Shane. This is Savannah Varner. I'll never forget you and your guys running straight to gunfire at Springfest last year.
Thank you.
And then Sabi Serpentine, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she asked about the Humane Society facility. She said, has the department had any special education or training for calls involving persons with mental health issues since you've been in office?
Good question. Yes. We work very close with Communicare. And Communicare offers a program with CIT training. And what this is and it's free. It's free to the department. And my goal is to get every deputy certified in CIT. And you go over there to Oxford to the class, and you're able to go through this week-long training. And you're able, what it is, you are trained in dealing with the mental patients that we have, the calls that we have. We have a lot of them. And so, when it's crisis intervention training. And because when you get to a call and somebody has a mental issue and they're hollering, sometimes you think you got to holler more, you know what I'm saying? To get them to I guess, get their attention. But sometimes you got to de-escalate. You got to bring them down. You got to talk to them. And so, I'm telling you, it's some very good training that we go through with CIT. And I got probably 7, 8 to 10 guys now, deputy certified in that. And so every time they have a training, we try to send 2 or 3 over there for that training.
Awesome. Alyssa Adams said, will the deputies be wearing cowboy hats?
I'm thinking about it now. I'm thinking about going them cowboy hats.
Yes.
Dang, bro.
Yes,
I might have to become sheriff, dude. I'm wearing a cowboy hat.
I'm thinking about breaking them out.
Great idea. All right. Carson said he's in the chat now. He's not here, but he's in the chat. Congrats on the re-election. I know your next couple of years are planned out, and from the way you talk, you'd like to do this as long as you can. But obviously, all good things have to come to an end at some point. If one day you're not the sheriff, what's your plan?
As man of everything I do, I put in God's hands, and I pray about it. Put it, God. He's going to lead me where He wants me to go. And if these next 4 years We do got some bigger and better things that we're coming out with that we're going to do. But come into this term, if God said your time is done here, and He's going to open another door for me. What that is, I don't know. I do pray that God will let me stay here for the next couple of terms. But so I don't know, Carson. If I happen to lose in 4 years, I believe that God will have a door open for me, whether it be go work for another law enforcement agency. I don't know, but I'm hoping here for next for a couple more terms.
Awesome. Peyton, you have anything?
Trying to think.
I'm thinking I feel like people don't really know the day-to-day operations of a sheriff. So could you you don't have to go into super detail, but if it's a perfectly normal day, what does your day look like?
Man, we get up and at the house, me and my wife get my boy ready, and I get him to Pope school, drop him off, and my phone. Some people say, "Man, I throw that phone in the ditch in the creek," because it may start ringing but that's my job. That's my job to answer these phone calls, and I tell them that, hey, I signed up for this. I have to answer these phone calls. My phone starts ringing sometimes 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. Like right now, I done had probably 5 or 6 missed calls sitting here, doing this, and I got to call them back. On the first 2 Mondays of the month, we have board meetings. They may last 2 or 3 hours. I come to the office, check in with my administrative assistant, make sure I don't have any people to call back. And I go out. I try to go see many people as I can that day. I may have meetings. Like tomorrow, I got 3 places I have to be at. Morning,
wow,
around lunch, and then that evening. Wednesday evening, then tomorrow evening, I got a meeting at 6 o'clock. I have to, that we're going to be at, and meeting with some people about trying to work with our youth, trying to reach out to these youth. And the next day as well, Thursday, I got more meetings. So it just, I'm telling you, man, we stay busy. It's constant getting out, seeing people, going to the schools, talking to the teachers, the kids up there. It's nonstop, 8-9 hours a day. But like I said, I love it. I couldn't think of anywhere else I would rather be, than where I'm sitting at now. And I thank God and the people of this county that I got reelected.
So somebody commented on the cowboy hats. So I'm thinking you're going to get, 10, 15 applications in just from the cowboy hat comment.
Hey, let's do a survey. Who wants to see Panola County Sheriff's Office in cowboy hats? And so if y'all can reach out and do something, I guess maybe on y'all's podcast or whatever we can do to see if they want to see our guys and our men and women in cowboy hats. Because I got one and I'm ready to break it out, but I want to make sure the people want it.
I think I'll be going to the academy, Dylan.
Go, man.
Trying to walk around in a cowboy hat. What do you do for a living? Wear a cowboy hat.
You're a cowboy. As the sheriff, this is from Savannah Varner. As the sheriff, how many average call are you active on? Or is that just more of a deputy's job? Do you still go out on calls?
Yeah, there's more of a deputy's job. But if I'm out, going from point A to point B, or if I'm just out riding, I'm just, say I'm going to ride through a community, and they get a call, and I'm close by, I'm going. Sometimes I'll be the first one there, waiting for a deputy. Just because you're the sheriff, that don't mean you can't go out here and help your guys and answer calls. So, sometimes I really enjoy it. Sometimes getting out, riding, and answering these calls with the guys. So yeah, sometimes I do get out and answer calls.
Yeah, I remember. I don't remember exactly what it was, but something happened around the square, the courthouse, and you were the first. Like you were the first one there.
Somebody here
So-
recently?
No, it's been a couple years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, you were the first one there. So that was Joshua Johnson. He said cowboy hats. He's going to the academy. He said he's going to be coming by today to talk to you. I don't know if he's serious or not, but
Come on by and pick up my application because we got some openings.
there you go. There you go, Cookie. That's what we call Peyton, Cookie.
There it is, man. We got some openings. We need some good people now. You can work 12 hours where you're at or work 12 hours doing what you love.
Making buckets or serving the community.
Man, don't be working 12 either place. So
Yeah.
Yeah. But you be
Speaking of
12
that-
hours riding around, answering calls and talking to the people and doing what you love.
I guess speaking of that, what kind of a schedule do y'all run off of?
We do 12 hours, 6 to 6 and 6 to 6. And once we get full staff, the chief likes to have I guess it's a floater, we call it, that will come in from, say, 12 noon to 12 midnight or 10 in the morning till 10 at night. And it kind of gets extra manpower on each shift. But we run 12 hours.
So is that like how many days of a week typically?
So basically you work Monday, Tuesday. All right. You're off Wednesday, Thursday.
So
you work
2, 2,
Friday,
3.
Saturday, Sunday. And you're off Monday, Tuesday, work Wednesday, Thursday, off Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So 2, 2, 3s.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to put me on at work.
Yeah.
Like,
And,
Either way.
And they love it. I mean, because I come in at one time, we talked about going to 10 hours for more manpower, coverage, for more coverage, and we were short. And, man, the guys did not, I mean, they love 12 hours. And I understand why, because especially if you got a family, man, you're off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And say that you want to go on vacation, and you can take off that Wednesday, Thursday, and you can be off through that Sunday, you know. And because I remember when I first started, my off days was Sunday and Monday. I worked every weekend, and I had a wife at home, and she didn't like it too much, you know, because, I mean, we couldn't do anything. I mean, the only time we had to do anything was during either Sunday or Monday. So the 12-hour shifts are good for the guys, for the deputies, for the men and women that work in law enforcement around this state of the nation. The 12 hours are good, especially for a family person that they're able to, you know, work and then go home and be with their family for, you know, for that amount of time.
See, there's my plan, man. Go work at my job Monday and Tuesday. When I'm off Wednesday, Thursday, go work at the sheriff's office.
It's
Come on,
alternated.
man.
Hey.
I'm working 2 jobs.
Yeah. You have part-time.
That's it.
2 full-time jobs. So
Yeah.
That would be that'd be rough.
Yeah,
It
who
would
needs
be
sleep?
rough.
Who needs sleep?
I don't get any anyway.
All right, we got Carson back at it. How do you tackle balancing work and home life? So how do you balance work and home?
Man, it's hard, you know, because, you know, of course, you know, my wife, Melissa, you know, she's a circuit clerk here as well. And it's hard because you're never off. And because when that phone rings, you got to answer it. I mean, because you never know what the person on the other end is going to need. You know, it could be something very small. It could be something very big. And I believe when you get into an elected position, that you got to answer that phone. You know, now sometimes if I meet with the family, I'll text that person back and say, "Hey, I'm meeting. Can I call you right back? Is this an emergency?" And if they say yes, it's an emergency, I'll stop what I'm doing and I'll call them. But you know, in law enforcement, when you get off, not talking about me, but law enforcement in general, you have to leave that job in that car. When you walk through that house, you cannot bring it inside that house, because some of the things that we see on a daily basis, it will eat at you. And, you know, of course, you got to have somebody to talk to, a preacher. If you and your wife have that relationship that you can sit there and tell your wife what you sing, as long as don't freak her out, you know, that's good. But you got to leave your job in that vehicle. But I try to some, you know, and so does Melissa. But we work for the people. We do. We work for the people of this county. So when that person calls, you got to be there for them. You got to answer that phone, like I said, you never know what it may be, man. It may be, a dog call, or it may be that their kid needs some help. And so, that's my opinion. You just need to be there for the people because they put the trust in you to vote you back in to be their sheriff, and you need to hold that. You need to do what you're supposed to do for them.
Good answer. So Savvy's commenting again. She said, "What changes would you personally like to see in Panola County during your next term?"
Number one change I would like to see is a juvenile facility. The juvenile law is a joke. I'm just going to tell you it's a joke, and these juveniles know it's a joke. And prime example is for juveniles, and kind of real quick is they hit their mama. We go out there, get them, bring them out here. Can't take them out back. Can't take them in the back. We call a juvenile facility. Nobody can take them. So we got to turn around and give them back to their mom who they just hit. Because all these facilities are full, and the ones we use in the state. So we need a good juvenile facility here in this county for that. And the juvenile laws need to be changed as well. Something else that I plan on doing is a community panel, a panel of different people in the county. I want to get on a group together, and I want one up north and one down south, and to be able to have people in different communities on this group. I was going to do it this last term, but COVID hit and just kind of screwed things up. But because the people in the county know more about what they need than I do in their community, I'm looking at that, getting more involved with the community. That is something that I think is real big. You got to have that trust with the people of this county, because if you don't have the trust, then you might as well go home. If you don't have that relationship with the community. I'm going to do a Citizens Academy, another one. I did one, I think the second year, my first term. We're going to do another Citizens Academy. I want to do Explorer program for the youth. So we got some things lined up. I just hope it all works out.
What is the?
I hope that answered a question.
Yeah,
I might have started blabbling and didn't even answer it.
You answered it.
Okay.
What is the biggest? Yeah, I don't want to highlight the negative, but what's the biggest problem that you see as sheriff in Panola County, as far as that y'all encounter regularly?
The youth. That's because the violence that you're seeing going on, and it's not all youth. There are some adults, but right now what we're seeing taking place, like in Batesville right now, these kids that are going around breaking in these cars, they're youth. Because these older guys are getting these kids to do this because they know that the juvenile law is a joke, and the judges and the prosecutors are doing everything they can by law to do their job, but it's just not. It needs to be stiffer penalties. I would say that the juveniles right now, the youth that are doing these crimes, we got to jump on top of that, and we got to make it a bigger punishment for these kids. Prime example, Batesville PD, they were telling me, one of the officers telling me that they caught one of these kids, and the kid just looked at him and said, "Man, you ain't gonna do nothing to me. There's nothing y'all can do to me." And he's pretty much dead on. They can send him off to a boot camp for a little bit, but that's about it. So we need to work more on our youth, getting more involved in our youth. That's something that we're going to do as well in this next term. I would love to start a Scare Straight program out here. But when it comes to the juvenile law, you got to be careful with that. As far as take them in the back, and I'm looking into what I can and can't do on that. To me, if I can reach one kid and I can save one kid, man, I've done my job. I love to save all of them. but that's probably one of the big problems that I'm seeing right now. Not only in the county, it's surrounding counties as well. Me talking to the sheriffs is the juveniles. We got to get more stiffer punishment for these for the juveniles.
Going back to, you kind of brought it up, but the breaking in cars and stuff in Batesville. I live in Batesville. What are some things that people can do to like around their outside of their house to discourage people from trying to break into their cars and
Cameras, a lot of light. If you have a dark area that's around your house, get you a light that comes on when somebody walks by. I got 5 cameras at my house, and if you come on my property, I'm going to see you. I saw a video of these kids walking through this neighborhood, and there's a Batesville car sitting there, Batesville PD car. They walked over there and tried to get in it. It's just, did you shake your head at it like, wow. But cameras, man, good cameras. Don't get some of these cheap ones just to put a camera up. You get some of these good cameras that if somebody walks by at night, you'll be able to see a good picture of their face, because cameras don't lie. And so I tell everybody, get cameras. And if you have somewhere in your neighborhood, around your house that needs light, get one of the motion detected lights. That way, somebody walks by, it pops them on.
You can also put a fake owl up. That will scare you if you see it for the first time.
Yes, it will. It will.
And those lights are pretty cheap on Amazon.
Oh, they are. I mean, I got the blink system from Amazon, and I love my cameras.
Awesome.
They're good.
So James Kyle Browning says, this may not pertain to you, but what is the department doing to crack down on violence around events such as Springfest and just west of the square? So I think a lot of that's mainly PD, but
that's Batesville PD. But we help with Batesville a lot. All right, let's talk about Springfest for a minute. Let's get it out there. When they had this shooting on Springfest, we had, I think we counted 40 officers between my department and Batesville PD. I think it was 40 police officers and deputies that were out there, not counting security that was out there. Okay. We were everywhere. If you were there, you saw us. All right. They still had, and the shooting occurred off the square. It did not actually occur in Springfest, in that block that we call Springfest. It happened off of there. So they already had in their mind when they got there what they were going to do. It didn't matter if we had 40 officers or we had 200 officers. They already had in their mind what they were going to do, and they did it. And I thank God that no innocent bystander got hurt. And I guess what I'm trying to say is if somebody has it already programmed in their head that they're going to go to this event and they're going to do that, no matter how many police are there, they're going to do it. That's the mindset that these people get in. They don't care no more. They don't care about the police. They're going to do what they're supposed to do, and they're going to either take the consequences, whether it be them getting shot, going to jail, or whatever. But to Mr. Browning's, question, any event that's taking place in Batesville or Como or Sardis, we're going to be a part of that event, and we're going to provide the best security for the people that is coming to that event, so they can enjoy themselves and not have to worry. They had Como Day in Como. They have it every year, big event there. We go up there just like we're doing Springfest. And so. And I think that so we try to be at every event that we can be at, and bring the department in, and it's mandatory. They have to work. They have to work it because we want people to come enjoy themselves. And so I hope I answered your question, Mr. Browning.
And there's only just kind of pertaining to that. I mean, you have 40 officers there, and there's still a shooting. I mean, there's only so much you could do. You can't really see the future.
Right.
at best you're reacting. So
That's right. That's
I will
right.
say, I bet the average response time was brought down a chunk with that.
I'm gonna tell you what, when that happened, I was standing by the tracks by the courthouse, and I knew my boy, my two boys and his fiance, my oldest boy and his fiance were there, and they had done walked back over, I guess, to the other side of the square where the rides were, and I knew that's where they were, and that's where the shots rang out. And man, when I heard that, it just the feeling that it was, especially your kids being out there, it scared you. And of course, we all took running. I mean, we all ran over there, and I finally found out where my boys were. They were back at the RV. But I just, I thank God that no innocent person, kid, mama, daddy, grandma got killed over some knuckleheads doing what he did.
James Kyle says, "Thanks, Mr. Shane. We appreciate your hard work and effort. Congrats on re-election."
Thank you, sir.
And Savannah Varner says, "People are going to do what they want, regardless of who's there."
Yes.
Carson has a question.
Come on.
Again, for a person eyeing a career in law enforcement, what are some things they can do to prepare themselves leading up to the academy?
Let me sit up first before you start.
Come on, sit up here,
Take
Peyton.
your notes, Peyton.
You, first of all, whatever department you want to go to, let me back up. You're going to have to be in shape. You're going to have to be in shape because you got to go through 12 weeks of police academy. And I tell people that's preparing to go to the academy, leave the weights alone. You run and you do push-ups, mountain climbers, sprints, that kind of thing. Because the bigger you are when you go down there, the harder it's going to be on you. So, but you need to be in the best shape that you've ever been in. Go apply for that, whether it be the sheriff's department, police department, wherever you'd like to go apply at and work at, apply for it. Most agencies now, when they call you in for an interview and they like you, they're going to put you through a PT test because they don't want to waste their time sending you down there, and you go down there and you can't make it. So first of all, find out where you want to go, get in shape, because we have had people come here that we've hired, and I'll say, all right, I need some help. The next month, the academy opens up. Are you ready to go? Yes, sir, I'm ready to go. They carry them out to the lake, do a PT test, boom, they're there, and they make it. Some people need 2 or 3 months to get in shape. So just keep your body. If you want to go to a career in law enforcement and you got to go get certified, there's no other way around it. Start preparing your body for that, because now people are needing people are not getting law enforcement like they used to be. That's all I wanted to do, man. That's all I ever thought about doing. It's not like that now. So there's always going to be openings where you go. So just mentally be prepared for that academy.
Carson said he asked that for Peyton. So did you take notes?
There you go, Peyton.
Get in shape.
He know it. I haven't worked out but like 3 days in the past 2 weeks.
Can't be doing that. Josh Johnson said he was standing there talking to your son when the Springfest thing happened, and he reacted like a law enforcement officer. He said he was not in shock. He was very steady. So great job on raising your boys.
Tell him thank you. I'll tell you what, I'm proud of my boys. They're some good kids. Good kids.
And then what is your you do go to the gym. What is your diet and your fitness routine look like?
My diet? What's that?
Seafood.
Excuse me 1 second. I'm trying to text somebody about a call. Hang on 1 second. All right. Man, I need to start watching more of what I eat. I need to start eating better. Now, as far as the workout goes, let's say for Monday. Monday I start my workout. I go to the gym, do arms Monday. Tuesday I go in and do back and shoulders. Wednesday I go in and do chest and legs, and then the next day it'll be Thursday, I guess. Thursday I go in and do a burnout for my arms. And then I take off 3 days. And I come back and start it again. Now, I got to find time in between there to start walking with my wife or running or doing something to get my wind back up. But as far as diet, man, I'm not going to lie to you. Man, I eat some food I shouldn't eat, the junk food. But I do got to, getting older, I got to start watching more of what I eat, better food.
So
I watch everything I eat.
Before I left work this morning, I was sitting at the table we got out in the maintenance shop, and a guy sat down. He's like, where's the waffles at? I'm like, I got them in the freezer over there. I ended up warming them up, bringing them back to the table. We had like 2 other guys there. He was like, he started telling like, this dude eats 6 waffles every day up here. And then he starts asking, and like I told him, like, look, I always eat 6 waffles at work and 4 waffles before I work out. I get the little Eggo waffles, and they're like 200 calories for 2 of them. So I end up eating like 1,000 calories worth of waffles today.
You put syrup all over them?
I don't put syrup on them. I get chocolate chip waffles.
Man, you got to have syrup on your waffles, man. They ain't waffles without syrup.
I put syrup on it if it's a plain one, but
man, I got to have I load my waffles up with syrup now, and that probably makes it even worse. So yeah, I gotta, like in the mornings, I gotta have my coffee. I gotta have my coffee in the morning, and but man, I may eat a honey bun, a Pop-Tart, grilled cheese. It just depends, but I do gotta start watching. I wish I could do like my wife does, man. She watches what she eats, and I can't do it. I like me a big old juicy hamburger or big old fries, and but honestly, the older you get, you gotta start watching more of what you eat and put in your body. Oh, there he is. You got your partner there with you.
Oh yeah, Ryan, say hey.
Hey, every day's a cheat day for me.
What's up, man?
He said hey.
I had 2 spicy chicken sandwiches from Wendy's before work the other day.
There you talking there now.
That sounds good.
It does.
Taylor Bobo says
Bobo.
Oh, Taylor.
Brooke.
Yeah, it says Brooke, but that's her last name. Congratulations on re-election. I've been asked many times by people since we're live with you now, will you explain your plan to improve relations with the community? This question, yes, yeah, that's it. Your plan to improve relations with the community.
How am I going to do it? Is that the question?
Yes.
First of all, like I said, that community panel is going to be one of them. The Citizens Academy will be another one. Getting out for myself, getting out in the chief and the major, getting out of the office more, writing and talking to the people in the community. One thing that I'm going to start back up. Hey, Reggie, you mind shutting that door? One thing that I'm going to start back up, and I started it in 20, but COVID hit and everybody was scared to talk to everybody. Nobody wanted nobody to come up on them, anything like that. But I have I call it a contact sheet. So basically, a deputy is riding through your community, and Peyton, they see you outside. So they pull up, hey, I'm Deputy Shane Phelps. I work for the Sheriff's Department. How things going in your community? What's going on? Is there anything that we can do better for your community, or would you like to see more? What would you like to see more in your community? And you may say, Peyton, oh man, I'm good. I think everything's going great. Or you may say, well, you know what, Deputy Phelps, I'd like to see A, B, and C done. Well, they're going to take your information and say, all right, your name, contact information, and your phone number. And then myself or chief or the major or the captain is going to give you a call and say, hey, Peyton, this is, Chief Deputy Reginald Lantern. I just wanted to, I saw one of my deputies come by and talk to you. And, I see that you have concerns here that you need to, that you want to talk about. You want me to come by? You want to talk on the phone? Whatever that person wants to do. I think that right there is going to be a big step in getting the relationship built back more up in the community.
Get them out here. I got a complaint to file.
What you got? One on Dylan?
Actually, it involves Dylan. I don't know if he knows this. So
What?
Dylan came over to my house on the 4th. And we had some range time with our accelerated reading books we have. And we made quite the ruckus over there. Well, we have an angry neighbor across the road who at 9 o'clock one night, like a week later or 2 weeks later, pulls all of their fireworks to the road and just starts letting them off in the road because of all the ruckus we made. The same people that have called the sheriff's department on me multiple times for having loud music in my driveway in the middle of the day. And you didn't hear me say any of this, but that's my public
He's just
complaint.
feuding with his neighbor. That's it.
Yeah, that's not even. My dad was in his bed trying to sleep, and it's 9 o'clock, and they're shooting fireworks at the road. I'm just like,
Freedom.
I know. I'm not going to say what you should have done on live. I'm not going to say that.
That's what I was telling Carson earlier. I was like, yeah, there's some things it shouldn't be on the live.
Yeah.
You want to ask him off the record.
That's probably one of them too.
Yeah. Carson said you're a troublemaker, Cookie.
yeah, no. You can't say it on the live.
You're really not, though.
Man, I had a question I was going to ask, and I forgot what it was. Darn. Oh,
It's-
yeah. What exactly is the Citizens Academy?
The Citizen Academy, the first one we had about approximately 15 students from I think they were from 18 to however old. It didn't matter. And we met once a week, I believe it was once a week. We met for like 6 weeks. And we bring them in and we teach them about what we do on a day-to-day shift. We'll have a mock crime scene. We'll teach them how we do a crime scene. We'll do one thing we were not able to do. I wanted to do it, and we can now. But we did a scenario of an active shooter there. But what I want to do is do actual stops with the citizens with sim rounds, and just put them in the place of an officer, of when they're making that traffic stop and that guy gets out with a gun. How are you going to react? What would you do? Because a lot of people, when we have shootings, now look, there are some shootings that I scratch my head at and I look at, but there are some out here that, these officers put their lives on line every day. And 99.9% of the officers out here, all they want to do is come out here and do a good job for their department and for their community and go home to their family. The last thing that they ever want to do is to get into a shootout or take somebody's life, because that right there is a whole nother topic, whole nother conversation. But you got a lot of people, especially the media, that want to, I guess you call it Monday morning quarterback it or whatever. Why don't they do this? Why don't they do that? Well, you were not in that officer's spot. You were not there. You don't know what you'd have done. So I want to bring the people in from the community and put them in that situation and know, because you got a half a second, if not that, to make that decision to pull or not to pull. You know what I'm saying? And so just to, kind of put them in that type of situation and let them get that experience of that. So basically that's what that is. It's bringing the people that want to come in and show them what we do on a day-to-day of the sheriff's department, operation of the sheriff's department. we'll take them a tour of the jail and show them the jail back there. So yeah, that's what the academy is.
Yeah, I don't think people realize, like, you'll go online, you'll see videos of, like, law enforcement or like them in a shooting or something, or like one of my favorite YouTubers to watch is Donut Operator. He breaks down shootings and stuff. There's a few other channels out there that post like real footage of shootings, and comments will be flooded with like, oh, why do they do this, why do they do that? They just go out to kill people. And it's like, I don't think they realize the toll that takes on somebody. And obviously I don't realize it either, because I've never taken the life of somebody, but I don't think they understand the toll that will take on somebody, and that nobody just wants, like, nobody, like, I'd say 99.9% of law enforcement, they're not, their job isn't, or they're not going out to like, I'm going to kill somebody today because I want to, because that's going to like leave a scar that you can't just hide. And it, like, I'm sure, like we all know that there are, the bad apples that fall from the tree, but one bad apple doesn't, dictate the state of the tree.
Everybody messes up too. I mean, you're gonna make a mistake.
Do y'all or anyone around here that you know of do ride-alongs? The waiver's like, if you get shot, it's your fault. You came with us.
Carson said Peyton he definitely wants to get out of the vehicle. So you say you have a SWAT team. What's the requirements to get on the SWAT team? I know Peyton's probably interested in that for when he. You drag yourself.
M4s.
Carson
So
says, did they take close quarters combat training?
if you just say CQC, you sound more like official.
Well, for the people that don't
when
know.
you spell it out, when you like say it out, it just does I don't know if we're like I don't know if size really comes into the equation here.
With
But
what?
like I know Batesville is a small town, but like say with something like Springfest, is there like or any kind of event I guess you could say we have has the thought of having like perched up somewhere some snipers ever crossed the minds of people? I don't know why I just can't.
You're watching a lot of TV.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just some kind of recon, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Happen anywhere.
I volunteer.
You gotta go to the academy. You gotta do the application first, man. Are there any mental health checks and balances involved in training or qualification? Mental health checks and balances. This is Carson. Go ahead, Peyton.
I was waiting for you to see what you were going to say.
Oh.
Well, I know we don't have any more questions in the comments.
I read through my questions. Do you have anything that you wanted to say to the people? I appreciate you coming on. Thanks for serving the community. Good job at what you've done. from my point of view, you've done a great job. And
Thank you for the pre-interview interview.
come on, Peyton, you gotta do it.
I got to get one of each of the departments around here. I got to get a state trooper in now.
Yep. He's done both, so. All right, well, I don't want to take up any more of your time. We've been here for over an hour and 40 minutes, surprisingly. Yes, so.
I got a lot of sleep to catch up on. Thank Carson.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll have you on again. It's been great.
Yeah. 4 years.
All right, if you want to just hit the leave button, you'll be good to go. And appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. It'll do. See
you.
All right, man. Another one in the bag.
Another one. Bro, that one was...
That's pretty good. That was awesome. Really appreciate him for coming on. I really don't have anything else to say. Just trying to keep the kids alive at this point. Solid episode. Good job, guys. From Carson. I mean, Carson's a little partial. He was a part of it. But Peyton Franklin says you need to apply a cookie. So, y'all, let us know about the cowboy hat thing. Looks like it's a hit, and y'all get Peyton to apply somewhere. I mean, anywhere. It seems like a good job to have. Great boss.
Anywhere but nowhere.
Yep. Peyton.cook.
We'll get Rylan a job, and we'll get Luca a job.
I will see you guys. I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah, I don't either.
Y'all go put the work in.
I'm tired and sleepy.
Y'all go put the work in. Appreciate y'all guys for hanging in there.
Get hard.
Stay hard.
What episode is this? We got a
40.
new logo coming up here soon. We don't know when it's gonna be.
Whenever we do, but
well, probably change the numbers around.
Hit the comments. Go to the description and click the links and buy some stuff. We're gonna see you guys next time.
Thank you for hanging out.
Peace out,
Stay
guys.
Stay hard. Get hard. I said that backwards.
In.
Peace.